You're 60, you know who Cream was, all right? They actually had 3 records. But, you're not the Rolling Stones. How do we get to be, the guy said, I want to be Eric Clapton.
Eric, hey, that's a good one.
I
I've
said,
heard of him before.
I said,
Layla,
I
I've
said,
heard that song.
I said, oh my God. Okay. So how do we get there? Well, we decided this was the path that we needed to take for you to become Eric Clapton. We needed to deal with debt. We need to deal with debt, and if you want to think about it, unencumbering your cash flow so that more was coming, so that what was coming in was able to cover things much better, so that we were able to grow and continue to, grow your money in such a way so that we get farther and farther into safety zone. And that's really, again, for us comes to
Is
proven
the
withdrawal
farther
rates,
you
right?
are, the farther you are into the safety zone, the more
Right.
larger of a rock star you become. But okay, so that was the first thing that you learned over the last 5 years working with clients, that things change. What would the second thing be?
No one has the corner on all the good ideas.
That is a good one. Now, did you learn that in the last 5 years working with clients specifically, or I feel that was a dadism from quite some time ago?
Yeah, that's been a dadism forever. I think that I know that as the environment changes, that I'm continuing to learn. And that my thoughts, my preconceived notions, the things that I did 5, 10, and frankly 15 years ago, working with folks, it's morphing. I know that it's morphing, and what I'm attempting to do is help my clients morph their portfolios, if you might say, in such a way so that we're learning how to do a better job with managing accounts, and frankly, the tools have changed.
And the rules change over time
the
as
rules
well.
have changed, and frankly, the tools have changed. We now have better tools than we've ever had for assisting them investing their money, manage money, which really were not there even 5, 10, 15 years ago. Better tools, less expensive tools, and again, all that kind of comes down to making your algebra better. Lower expenses means a lower hurdle to jump, assuming all things are equal, helps them get further down the road. And, again, my whole idea, you and I have discussed this many times here, and we talk about the vault.
How much money you should have set aside.
Right.
Easy access, liquid,
and
fully liquid.
And I would definitely tell you, if I had to get away from my dadism, I would just say that the second thing I've learned is that as folks age.
This is 2B.
Right, 2B. Their desire to hold cash
increases
exponentially. Now, naturally, most of them are a little distressed at this point because the cash that they're holding and maintaining, not just for emergencies but for other things,
is not doing much.
No, it's not. I mean, you're getting 1/10 to 1% on the money, which is
if you're lucky,
painful.
1%. Yes.
Well, it's painful because if you're getting 1%, you're really earning virtually nothing after taxes.
Or negative when you factor in inflation.
Exactly. So it's painful, but I've learned that there is a desire to hoard cash, and frankly, I'm watching your mom, and she loves to hoard cash. She always has.
So little do you know.
Yeah, we had that conversation before.
Your mom probably has is the mattress firm?
Yeah, she has like the vault and the sub vault and the
subterranean vault.
But a lot of folks do that as well. I've also learned, I will tell you, that the third thing that I've learned is that there is a difference in thought process in planning for 2-bucket families versus 1-bucket families.
So a 2-bucket family would be they keep their assets separated?
And their income flows reasonably separated. And then what happens is that they collaboratively get together and decide you pay for this, and they kind of pay things off. Either put money into a common fund or they've kind of delegated your
like you pay the rent, I'll pay the utilities. Do you find those families are more prone to have been second marriage families when they're 2 buckets?
Well, I would say 90% of the time, second marriage families are like that because the folks have been independent and they prefer to do. It's almost like a business arrangement, which is cool. Sometimes that's even better.
Especially when there are kids involved as well.
Yes, but there also are 1-bucket families like mine,
where your money is mom's money and mom's money is mom's money.
Exactly right. And also what happens is generally one person is the quarterback. One person is the financial person, and the other person pays attention to real stuff. One person pays the bill, the other person doesn't. And I think that's important too.
Also, to key in on that, because you definitely have different conversations with different members of the family based on those things. Or you just talk to people slightly differently when they're the, like you said, the quarterback or the accountant of the family versus the person that's dealing with possibly the insurance and things like that.
Yeah, I think the last thing you might want to ask folks is, how do you get paid?
That's an important question because it answers, not only does it answer the number one question, how do you get paid and how much, but you can determine what type of skills and licensing they have based on the answer to that question.
Right. So I guess we've had about a 15-minute conversation about questions you might consider asking advisors. And then hopefully what's happened is, for those folks that are listening, those that might be even considering coming and visiting with